down. They said no.
There are many brave men in this southern land who have hurried away to the field, who have sworn to defend us or die in the cause ere our independence they'll yield. I hear their war cry sounding, sounding deep over mountain and glen. Their lights bringing footsteps are trampling the hill. 'Tis the march of the southern men, 'tis the march, 'tis the march, 'tis the march of the southern men. How bravely they move under fire, though they know their kindred they ne'er may see more, and cheerfully follow their chief to the field where they've gathered their laurels before. I hear their war cry sounding, sounding deep over mountain and glen. Behold, their battalions are charging again. 'Tis the march of the southern men, 'tis the march, 'tis the march, 'tis the march of the southern men. God's blessing be with them will still be the prayer of every patriot's heart, and to them may victory always be given, and ne'er from their banners depart. I hear their war cry sounding, sounding deep over mountain and glen. Their bright gleaming bayonets have camped the hill. 'Tis the march of the southern men, 'tis the march, 'tis the march, 'tis the march of the southern men.
All right. Hey. March! Oliver, start! Give me that $2 for right now! Oliver! You owe me $2 federal, and I ain't gonna give it. Your target is the left side of that fence.
Let us live to make them free. Our God is marching on.
And Johnny comes marching home again. Hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then. Hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will peal with joy. Hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our darling boy. Hurrah, hurrah. The village lads and lassies say, with roses they will through the way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. For the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. The laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Love and friends on that day, hurrah, hurrah. The choicest treasures then display, hurrah, hurrah. And let each one perform some part to fill with joy each warrior's heart, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The men will cheer,
that more communion with Southern Confederates so go. And I'll tell you some men for the Union who in northern ranks were enrolled. They came to Missouri in their glory and thought at their might we'd be dismayed. But they soon had a different story when they met Kelly's Irish Brigade. When they met with the Irish Brigade, me boys, when they met with the Irish Brigade. Didn't those cowardly Lincolnites tremble when they met with the Irish Brigade? They have called us rebels and traitors, but themselves have thrown off that name of late. They were called by the English invaders at home in the year of '98. The name to us is not a new one, though 'tis one that shall never degrade. Any true-hearted Irishman in the ranks of Kelly's Irish Brigade. When they met with the Irish Brigade, my boys, when they met with the Irish Brigade. Didn't those cowardly Lincolnites tremble when they met with the Irish Brigade? Call us invaders, 'tis but stakes, rights and liberty we ask. And of Missouri we'll ever defend her, no matter how hard may be the task. Then let true Irishmen assemble, let the voice of Missouri be obeyed. And the northern fanatics will tremble when again they meet Kelly's Irish Brigade. When they met with the Irish Brigade, my boys, when they met with the Irish Brigade. Didn't those cowardly Lincolnites tremble when they met with the Irish Brigade? When they met with the Irish Brigade, my boys, when they met with the Irish Brigade. Didn't those cowardly Lincolnites tremble when they met with the Irish Brigade?
When I walk into a battle, will I be a strong man as I hold this rifled musket in my trembling hands? Will I turn around and run and be shunned by everyone, or fight proud and brave and be taken to my grave? Oh, chaplain, hear me calling out to you. What's a young boy's heart supposed to do? And chaplain, take me by your weary side and pray for me to go to heaven should I die. Will I be sickened by the blood that colors the farmer's food? Will I cry out loudly for the death of my peers? Will I go to shoot a man and be frozen in my stance, or will I shoot him down with just one round? Oh, here I go again. Oh, chaplain, hear me calling out to you. What's a young boy's heart supposed to do? And chaplain, take me by your weary side and pray for me to go to heaven should I die. And this train keeps rolling down these old rusty rails. You can hear her whistle blowing across this northern Ohio trail. When I reach my destination, I will try to be brave. I will fight for my country, no matter what it takes. And if I do not survive, will someone please take me home and bury me in the soil of Ohio? Oh, chaplain, hear me calling out to you. What's a young boy's heart supposed to do? And chaplain, take me by your weary side and pray for me to go to heaven should I die. And pray for me to go to heaven should I die.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful, for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities clean, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea
Cheer the boys as they march along. Is that okay with you? Cheer goes this way. Hip hip huzzah. Huzzah being another way of saying hooray. Hip hip huzzah. 3 times. And after the 3rd time, we give a growl like a tiger. Okay? Hip hip huzzah. Hip hip huzzah. Hip hip huzzah, and a tiger. Okay, now everyone has to do it, or it won't be good enough. And it's going to be to the infantry. Okay, everybody good for that? To the infantry! Hip hip huzzah! Hip hip huzzah! Hip hip huzzah! And you look at the army, you get Burnside up here, and then down here you get the various divisions. Now, let me give you the military setup. You all know what a regiment is, right? Make a brigade. 2 brigades make a division. 2 divisions make a corps. 2 corps make an army. Okay? So, when this happened, there was a couple of corps on the field. That's how many men there were. They all came across the Rappahannock on bridges. And the first battle that they fought was the Confederate snipers in town. Now, Fredericksburg in 1862 is a long city along the river. It's only 4 blocks up the hill, but it's 30 blocks along the river. Okay? They fought their way through the town. And the only people in the town were the snipers. When they got out of town, then they had to form up at the bottom of the hill. This hill is very much like the one at Fredericksburg. Halfway up the hill at Fredericksburg is a stone wall, just like this stone wall. Beyond the stone wall up the hill at the top is level where the artillery was. Now you've got Confederate artillery that are firing over the heads of the Confederate infantry, firing at the troops behind stone wall and the ditch. They had ditched the ground behind the stone wall, so the stone wall was almost shoulder deep. Okay? These people had nothing. Absolutely nothing. The direct assault or frontal assault was ordered by Burnside, and he kept that going for a whole day.
You too.
He only withdrew the next day.
So about 10 regiments were probably wiped out at that one stone.
13,000 casualties on the Union side alone. Okay?
Did any of those brigadiers go back to the side of the service?
Oh yeah. The engineers told him not to put the bridges where he did. The engineers told him to put the bridges at a mile down river where there were no artillery, so out of the range of the Confederate artillery, so the Confederate artillery couldn't hurt the bridges. The first 3 bridges they put over, Confederate artillery blew out of the water. You realize what I lost? I lost 40 large wooden pontoons. Well, this is the last day. So sometimes what they will do is the Confederates will meet with the Union. They'll face each other and they will salute each other with rifle fire. And that is the salute, and it always happens, or usually happens anyway. And what that is we're saying to each other with rifle fire, we are the Confederates, we are the Union, but we are all brothers. Okay? You don't ever want to go back into this, I hate you because you're gray, I hate you because you're blue. No, that happened once, we don't do that anymore.
What is your name?
My name? Today or Monday? Monday, my name is Jim Matthews.
Okay, quick question, Jim. Quick question. It looked like the Unions were wiped out that day.
Yes.
Were the Confederates allowed to come out and finish them off with their bayonets? Did they do that?
Bayoneting the wounded is extreme
No,
cowardice.
Oh, I know, but
they were allowed.
I wouldn't say that.
They were allowed eventually to retrieve the wounded.
Yeah. Okay.
They wouldn't be likely to do that. Lee was in charge of the.
Well, yeah, but
and he did
it,
not tolerate.
yeah, it isn't just Lee. It's these people disagreed with each other because of political views.
Mm-hmm.
Political views don't go to manslaughter. I mean, rifle fire is wartime, but finishing off somebody with a sword after he's been wounded is manslaughter. Okay, and that wasn't what they were into. If you have an argument with someone and you can't settle it with diplomacy, then we as human beings tend to go to swords or guns or whatever we have. But butchery is not the right thing to do. I'm not saying that war is right or not, but that's how we solve problems that we can't solve any other way.
Yeah,
States. They were for Tennessee and Arkansas and Georgia and Florida and Ohio and Maine and Wisconsin. The country was too new to be for the U.S., so they were for their state. Lee threw over command of the entire Army of the Potomac to go to East Navy State because he could not visualize fighting his home state and killing his neighbors.
He didn't believe it was the right move. He had conscientious objection with all of it.
Well, yeah. In those days, if you were a conscientious objector, you were a friggin' coward. That's all it was doing. It wasn't a fancy word. Ladies and gentlemen, the Confederate Army! Right shoulder, Sheriff. In reenactment, the winner is the first army to pass by the spectator. The second army to pass by the spectator is the loser for the dead.
How many casualties did the South have that day?
What?
How many casualties did the South have that day? Confederates?
Less than half.
If the Union lost 13,000, what is half, you think?
Let me tell you something about reenactment.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
The Confederate Army will always march in front of the spectator.
I was in the land of cotton, old town there, I forgot to look away, Dixieland. In Dixieland where I was born, and early on one frosty morning, look away, Dixieland. And I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and live and die in Dixie, away, away, away down south. William was a gay deceiver. Look away, Dixieland. And when he put his arms around her, smiled as fierce as a 40-pounder. Look away, hearts seem to grieve. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Now this is acted the foolish part. She died for a man that broke her heart. So look away, Dixieland. There's no wish I was in Dixie. Hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand, live and die in Dixie. Away, away, away down south of Dixie. Away, away, away down south of Dixie. Dixie's land where I was born in early one frosty morning. Look away, Dixieland. Then I wish I was in Dixie. Hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and die in Dixie. Away, away, away down south of Dixie. Away, away, away down south.
Out of the touch. This is called the stadia site. It's a range finder. And what you do is, here, you can pass it around. What it has is a cavalry side and an infantry side. And you'll see the yard markings on there. Now, it goes from like 100 yards to 1,000 yards. And what you do is, that little thing that you're sliding right now, you'd fit someone's figure, like their whole persona, into that slide. Yeah, I'm a little bigger than you. And what you do is, you'd hold the bead in your mouth and you'd fit that person into the slide to figure out how far they were. And it says the yardage right there. So they would use that for the explosive shell because they had to figure out how far they were and how long it would take to get there. And they had this whole gunner's chart that said, okay, 500 yards it takes this many seconds. This is the degree it needs to be at. Stuff like that.
So would the gunnery troops tend to be, be slightly better educated?
Exactly. Yeah, the artillery's.
And you're not saying that just because you're in the gunnery, right?
No.
Because we told them to say that.
Exactly. Yeah. We were more educated because we were better at physics, trigonometry, geometry, all that science, math.
That's why we're signing her up for the army.
Yeah. So we were. I can't believe someone could invent that. That's insane. Like they had to get the exact angle to what distance, and it even says a cavalry side. They're taller if you fit the figure in. So they had to put the
horse and
the length markings on there. They had to put them in different spots because they're taller.
Yeah,
it's different. So that's my favorite invention. My second favorite is this one. It's called the Whitworth. This would fit a Whitworth rifle. This is a 6-sided bullet, as you can see. This is a 45 caliber, and it would go in a specific gun called the Whitworth rifle, and it would go into the gun, which was muzzle loading, and it was a sniper. It was used as a sniper. The barrel, like rifling. You know what rifling is? Yeah. It would spin to keep it accurate, and this was accurate up to 1,500 yards.
Well, I'm trying to form
They actually modeled a cannon after this, and up at 1,500 yards. At 1,500 yards, the South only had the Whitworth. It's a British design. At 1,500 yards, the lateral deviation, the distance between shots, left and right, is 10 inches.
That's amazing. Yeah. What about the Perry gun now? That's Union, right?
Yes, yeah. Well,
frail in body, toiling slowly, painfully up the stairs on crutches to the pension offices in Washington to urge forward the consideration of the claim for pension of my sick friend. In 1886, Hattie died of pneumonia in Washington. Joe brought her body back to Connecticut for burial. Her funeral was thronged with old soldiers. In every year on Memorial Day, Civil War veterans decorated Hattie's grave with a flag and flowers, just as they did the graves of other soldiers. Of course, Hattie was just one of thousands of Connecticut women who suffered because of the war. In its 4 years, the Civil War had tortured women of the North and South with worry, privations, and grief. In Goshen, Mary Wadhams had 3 sons in 3 different regiments and lost them all in the 2-week period. Elizabeth Painter's 14-year-old son Frank disappeared in December of 1863. He'd run away and enlisted as a drummer boy. For a boy of that age, it must have seemed like a dream come true to become an army drummer. Wearing snappy uniforms, camping out in tents, foregoing school and church, and being free from a parent's oversight. What could be better? But the boys found that along with adventure and freedom came responsibilities, deprivation, and danger. They grew up fast if they lived to grow up at all. Musicians didn't usually go into combat, but in battles they acted as stretcher bearers for the wounded. A soldier of the 2nd Heavy Artillery described what happened to young Frank Painter at the Battle of Cold Harbor. 2 men were carried to the rear on stretchers, apparently in such a state of exhaustion that they could not stand. They were carried by some of the musicians whose duty it was to perform such work when the fighting was going on, and placed in a ravine about a mile to the rear. They just arrived there when a rebel shell burst near the spot, taking off the foot of a drummer boy. The drummer boy was Frank Painter. It was months later when his mother received news of her boy's death, and his body was never recovered. In a eulogy for a Connecticut soldier who died at Andersonville Prison, Chaplain Theodore Holmes wrote, "That New England mother who said calmly, with an almost breaking heart, 'I'm very grateful to God that I ever had so dear a boy to give to my country,' was one of a multitude, mothers, wives, sisters, that bore the heaviest burden of the war, who in their loneliness and sorrow find sweet joy in reflecting that they were able to spend so much, their all perhaps, to buy life